Everybody see us and can everybody hear us?
Oh, do you have to have it so close?
Yes.
My face was giant.
Devon Fishing, can you hear us? Can you see us? Nobody's talking to me, so I'm... Hi there. All right, Scott, can someone tell us if you can hear us all right?
No one's answering you.
I just need someone to tell me if the audio is okay. Right, Neil, thank you. Good. We can move forward. Welcome everybody to March, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, March.
Oh, sorry. Let me just shine up a minute.
For anybody that hasn't been on one of these before, I have a couple of questions already written down, and if anybody has any questions that they want to ask, just write them as a comment and Hannah will write them down. If I don't answer them straight away, it doesn't mean that we've missed them. Hannah's written them down and I will get to them. So there's no need to keep going and going and going and going, because you'll just fill the feed up. Another thing, if you are all there, can you please just click a like on there so I can see that you can understand what I'm saying?
I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't got any subtitles that run concurrently as I'm talking.
No one could type that fast.
Are you going to chime in with your sense of humour? Yeah, all right. I've just, for all the people that are thinking about heckling, there's no need, because I've got a heckler right here with me. They're questions.
Okay, are you from Cumbria? There's an easy one for you to answer to start with.
No, I am from North Yorkshire. I got asked a lot of the same questions that I usually do in them, so I'll lump them all together. Quite a lot of people asking what type of fishing am I looking forward to the most. Quite a few people were asking how the search for the new boat is going. I will get to all them in a second. I did get a lot of questions about, have you got a kit, or is there a rod and a reel to... I'm assuming you mean Poggies and not Porkies. Have you got a recommendation for like a rod, a reel and a setup for someone just starting out into fishing? And all I've been doing so far is I've been saying like, yeah, this rod, this reel, this line, this... What I'm working at doing at the moment is I'm going to try and do a video, and I'm going to see if I can speak to possibly like a tackle manufacturer, and we will see about getting a set, like a beginner's set. Just one that I can talk you through all the way from the very start of how you put line on the reel, to putting it through the rod rings, to tying your first rig, to baits, all that type of thing. I'm going to work on that. So just give me a chance to film it. Lambrick fishing. There is a video. I've just started a new playlist called like shore fishing for beginners. There are a few videos in there that talk about the tackle that I use at the moment. Now, the boat hunt. Sadly, the current restrictions that we're all under has meant that I haven't been able to go out and hunt for a new boat. I had ideally hoped to have the new boat by now, but I haven't even been able to go out to view any. I've done endless research onto it. I've had quite a bit of experience with fishing boats before, so I know roughly what I want. What we are going to look for is something around about like the 16 to 19 foot fiberglass again. Just something so that we can carry on what we're doing, and so that I can trailer it around without it being too much of a mission. Looking at all sorts of things. I've been looking at Predators, Warriors, Orkneys, Alaskas, or even like Power Cats, things like that. I have in my mind which I want. I just haven't been able to. I haven't been able to finalise it yet. What I am going to do, when people have asked for, is they've asked for a video talking about the process that I made. You know, why I chose a certain type of boat over another boat. I am going to try and make a video of that, but unfortunately, again, with the restrictions that we're under. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we will be able to get out a little bit more.
We aren't going to tell you what boat we pick until the video comes out as well, just because that's
really
not? Annoying.
Okay.
It means I have to watch the video.
She's already made the decision for me. I guess any husband who goes about buying a boat, you know that you need to ask permission in the first place. As Dude Outdoors has just said there, Yes, bass assassin, there is absolutely. Also, one of the things that I've got to take into account as well is that if I go too much bigger than what I've got, I'm going to have to upgrade the vehicle that I'm using to tow it around with. So there's an awful lot of like knock-on effects of choosing different types of boats. I will go all the way through the process with you in the video. We currently have 363 people watching and only 96 likes. If you're watching this and you haven't already, can you just do me a favour and just click the like button, because it does help the sharing of the video. Thank you. Penn Regiment 2 7-foot boat rods, ugly sticks. I have a video on the Fishlocker Workshop channel of the GX2 ugly stick range. I use them a lot on my boat. I do like ugly sticks. They are really good value for money. They're not going to last you forever. They do break. I have broken a few of them, but they are fantastic for value for money. J-Tol, wink wink. I was just saying you're in charge.
I wish.
Sam, I don't know, mate, especially not with the travel restrictions that we've got at the moment, because I would have to isolate for 2 weeks when I got there. Mr. Crewmate, what's my favourite candy? Oh, I don't know. I like the old school ones. Tom Millett, thank you very much. I like the old school sweets, like your boiled sweets, like your rosy apples, or your even like cola bottles, that type of thing. What? Oh, I've got an itchy nose. Hannah, you like foam shrimps, don't you?
I like foam shrimps and foam bananas.
White mice, mini dots. Or do you remember like those fried eggs or strawberries you used to get, which used to take like 10 minutes to eat them because you'd be like stretching them like that? Or do you remember like those sherbet Space Invader rings that you used to get?
That looked like little spaceships, and it was like you put it in your mouth and the outside just disappeared, and then you just had like loads of fizzy stuff in your mouth.
I don't know who just commented that. David McKay. I was on Illustrious for a period of time. I took it out of. I didn't personally take it out. I was on board of it. I wasn't at the wheel. I was with it when it came out of refit in Rosyth. So that gives you some type of time frame. Have you any questions?
How much are you selling your old boat for?
We haven't decided what we're going to do there. A couple of people have asked whether or not I would. Yeah, I saw that. What's this one?
It's just someone saying to like and
the boat. Sorry, I got Gavin. Thank you. James just loves Easter eggs. He absolutely goes wild for mini eggs.
Oh, I love Easter eggs. Chocolate tastes so much better when it's egg shaped.
Anyway, the boat. This ties me into another thing that I was going to say. As people have asked me, they've just said, could you please raffle it? Tommy Shelby, ugly stick 3050, good enough for bottom fishing, or should I go 2030? If depending on what the bottom fishing is that you're doing, right? That one from Nathan. Yeah, it is Nathan Henry. I'll get to that in a second. Depending on what bottom fishing, I use the 12 to 20 or the 20 to 30 for a lot of my bottom fishing. If it's like rays, bull hooks, if it's clean ground, if it's shadding, if you're on a wreck and you need a bit of backbone there to be able to pull a ling away or pull a conger away or pull anything away like that, you want to go 30-50, because there isn't the 20-30s and the 12-20s, they'll bend all the way to the butt and you just can't bully them fish away. It's covered in the review that I've got on the Fishlocker Workshop. Right, what was Nathan Henry saying? Or was it just...
He didn't say anything.
Nathan, thank you very much. That was very generous of you. Michael, also, thank you very much. Right, I will get to it. People have asked what I'm going to do with the boat. People have said to me, can you raffle it? Could I hold a raffle where people could buy a ticket for X number of pounds and one of the raffle winners would win the boat? The reason why I can't do that is because in order to hold a raffle like that, I would need a gaming license. A lot of these raffles that you do see of them on Facebook about people raffling like trips on charters or people raffling bits of tackle like fishing rods, they should technically have a gaming license because it's a lottery. You can't do that without a license. So I would have to buy or apply for a gaming license to be able to hold a raffle, which is another reason why recently there's a gentleman called Jack Perks who's doing like a Blue Planet style documentary on Britain's hidden fish, and we are trying to help him raise the money to have a start out. Any non-for-profit needs a certain amount of money to be able to like have the camera gear and the charters and all that, everything to run it, all the editing. We were trying to help him raise money to create this documentary by holding a sponsored charter on a local charter boat. people have said that it would have raised more money as a raffle rather than as an auction. But unfortunately, like I've just explained, I couldn't do a raffle because I don't have a gaming license.
Dad and Carol are watching.
Jim from Spargo's Kitchen is one of the viewers. If anybody really enjoys Jim's cooking and the Spargo's Kitchen episodes,
Put a love heart in the comments.
Put a love heart in the comments and let him know. Crikey, I don't know what it is. I tried getting this tickle out before. I did, Michael. And the one from Thomas. Would you do a video of just drone footage? It's a difficult one, that. I've tried to incorporate drone footage into videos before, and some of that I've found. Jim, you've got some serious love coming in. I've tried incorporating drone footage into videos, and I found that if I put too much of it in, it's people get a little bit bored, I think. I mean, I love the drone footage. I'm really enjoying learning it because I am still learning. Finding the right music to go with it as well. If I've just got a 10-minute video drone footage, I think that people would probably get a bit bored of it. What I might do is I might create like a collage of the drone clips, and I'll put them in a video and I'll put it on the Fishlocker Workshop channel. That way I can keep it like a 5-minute video, and Finbar, right, I've just seen one there, that was an interesting one. Talking about rockfish as a species. Rockfish, rock salmon, generally they're talking about dogfish. Matt, I use 2 fend fixed bowls, reels with 58-pound braid straight through, sometimes changing my braid. Right.
I'll read these questions instead.
That's a pertinent one. If you're getting wind knots with your braid on your reels, chances are there might be one of 2 things happening, and it's either that your braid isn't tight enough on your spool, or you've overfilled your spool. What can be happening is if you cast with braid and it's limp and it's like not under tension when you're winding it onto the reel, it puts a couple of loose wraps of braid onto the reel. The next time you cast, instead of it coming off a wrap at a time, that loose bit all comes off at once and causes a wind knot. So whenever you're fishing with braid, whenever you cast out, first thing you do is put the bail arm on, and then I'll tighten the line between my hands, probably hold it between my fingers and do the first couple of winds like that to make sure it goes tight onto the spool. I will get to these questions. I think that was Neiloni Lilani, one of our patrons, that asked that question about the drone footage. How long have you been fishing? All my life. So probably since I was a little kid. 30 years. Do you use a gimbal when out walking and filming? No, I don't. Mainly because there isn't a gimbal yet made that will allow you to put an external microphone and a microphone adapter onto it without it banging and catching. And so if it is a little bit shaky, that's the reason why. All I use so far is I use GoPros and I edit the footage on a laptop. This one here that keeps asking this question, just quieten him down for a second.
Which one?
When he comes up, I'll tell you. Okay. Kyle Lewis, love the fishing and knowledge, and really love the positivity and family-oriented content. Much love and respect to you and yours. Thank you very much, Kyle. We are. I hope you understand that what you see is what you get. We're simply just sharing what we know and we love doing, which is just enjoying our time together out in either the woods or the boat or down on the beach. We just love it. We just love being outdoors. Especially now while we've had to kind of ration our time outdoors because you've got to stay home as much as you can. We're just trying to make sure that we enjoy it. What does he mean there? I'll swap a lifetime of tattooing for the boat. Are you going to tattoo?
Yeah.
I haven't got a single tattoo. You were about 12.
Not much room left on me.
Yeah. Are you ex-forces? Yes, I am. I'm ex-Royal Navy. For my sins. Phil, now that is a fantastic question. Any shark Grand Slams planned for this year? I would absolutely love have the opportunity of a sharking Grand Slam. For people who don't know, a sharking Grand Slam, there are certain things with the IGFA where if you catch a number of different species in the same day. Thank you very much, Seb. That's very generous. Thank you. Andy Annett, am I 34? Yeah, I'm 34. This one there. Sorry, Grand Slams. If you catch like 3 of a certain species, and it's like mako shark, blue shark, porbeagle shark, or thresher shark, porbeagle shark, blue shark, or ever so many. If you catch one of, there's a list of about 8 different types of sharks. If you catch 3, it's like a grand slam. If you catch 4, it's something better. Catching all of them on like the same day, the same charter, you can apply for a grand slam. There's only very few people that have done it, because generally it's something that you have to be on. You have to pay for an awful lot of charters to be able to do it. I think Robson Green's managed to get one of them on his extreme fishing challenges. So a grand slam would be fantastic. There is a Cornish grand slam, which is supposed to be like a blue shark,
like
a bass,
pasty,
a blue shark, a bass, and a gilt-head bream.
I thought it was going to be like a trio of pasties. In an hour, I could do that.
Debbie, say hi to Oscar, age 11. Oscar, hello. Oh, it's getting a little bit late for your bedtime. You best do as your mum says. Hello, Oscar.
That's Matilda, and I'm sorry, I don't know her partner's name. Matilda, I talked to you on Instagram. She said my makeup looks amazing.
They have. Is she called Picture Matilda?
Yeah, but they have a main page called Photo Fish, but it's spelt with a PH. I've lost the name again. Sorry. Get them. Comment again.
She does take fantastic. I call them moody shots. She takes fantastic photos. She posts them up all the time, and she does some pretty. Is that John? My U-boat. Thank you very much, mate. Towards the new boat. Loved the last couple of videos. It is my pleasure. I was editing another video until Bath James just before we come on the live. I've been editing a video all day, so there is another one due to come up. Right, I'll crack on. Jack, will you do any estuary fishing? The reason why I aren't doing any estuary fishing at the moment is because the places are heavily overcrowded by people. Because you can't travel very far, everyone's just piling onto the local marks, and I don't think that they would appreciate me publicising where they are. So I'm letting people have their space at the minute, so I'm just doing what I can. There was a couple of lads that were, I guess, kind of new to the fishing scene, who posted a load of videos of them catching some fish, and then they got an absolute pasting online. It's not nice to see when that happens, so I've just kind of been staying away from it all. 593 watching. That's amazing. Thank you very much for taking your time. I'm sorry if I say like I'm rabbited on, but it's quite difficult to join between the two. Oh no, mate, your shrimp trap's got nicked. Local Mark's fishing there. I jump onto his lives every now and again, and he made some shrimp traps like the ones that I make in a video on the Fishlocker workshop. I make them out of a pop bottle. It's just had them nicked. Unfortunately, I've had quite a few things go missing this year. Down on the marina where I'm at, they seem to treat everything like it's communal, even if it isn't. You haven't really got a choice for people to borrow your stuff. Yes, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, if you could just click the like button, that would be really appreciated. Would a 25-pound fluoro leader on a 40-pound braid work for spinning off the rocks for pollock and bass? Yes, definitely. The reason why you would use a fluoro or a mono leader when using braid, one, for the abrasion resistance, because braid doesn't hold up well to rocks. So if you're fishing for pollock, definitely you'd want a fluoro or a mono leader. And all you want there is you want your leader to be lighter than your braid. So it's almost like your sacrificial piece. So all you'll do is if you do come snagged up, you'll just snap your leader off. So you'll only lose 6 foot, so you just tie a new leader on. And 50-pound mono on 40-pound braid working from the shore. That is different. If you're putting, I explained this in one of the videos on the Shore Fishing for Beginners playlist. And what that is your shock leader, a shock leader from fishing from the shore, is a safety precaution. And you want 10 pounds for every ounce of lead that you're casting. So if you're using a 6-ounce lead and bait, you want at least 60-pound like mono or fluoro or whatever you're using as leader. The only time when that isn't required is if your main line, like if you're fishing straight through 70-pound braid. If you're fishing straight through 70-pound braid, it's already the same strength as what your shock leader would be. Your shock leader wants to be at least 1.5 times the rod length. So you've got a couple of wraps around the reel, and it wants to be 10 pounds for every ounce of bait and weight that you're casting. Dave Collins, what advice can you give tackling up for sharks? You mentioned that earlier on. Any do's and don'ts? Right. There's an awful lot. I would say the shark fishing videos that I've got already where I'm targeting blues, there will be an awful lot of common things between them and fishing for threshers. You're wanting to go and target threshers around the back of the Isle of Wight. I remember your comment. If that comes up again as well, get rid of that one. Basically, I'm using £480 49 strand wire, and it wants to. I've already got a video on how long I make it, but I make mine about 4 foot of bite trace, and then about 10 or 12 feet, maybe even up to 14 feet of body trace. And that's because if you've got a really big shark and it wraps up twice, it's not long before it's taken up 12 feet of wire. I'll tell you what, actually, Dave, one of the best people to speak to about that is Jason Gillespie. He's another real good friend of mine. If you are, I think you're already friends. You already know him, actually. I've seen pictures of you fishing on his boat. He's good fishing for threshers down there. If you are new to shark fishing, if you want to try shark fishing, if you are hoping to do it on your own boat, the best thing that I can give you as advice is, if you've never done it before, either go on a sharking charter or fish with somebody who has done it before, because it's an awful lot of adrenaline involved, and it is dangerous for both you and the fish. So having someone there who's done it before, who might be a little bit calmer, they might be able to talk you through it, rather than just going like Black Diamond first time round. Yes, this is one of the original styled Fishlocker hoodies. Speaking of which, actually, the Fishlocker merchandise, the t-shirts, the hoodies, that type of thing, they go up to 2XL on the T-Mill store. I understand that fishermen are generally, as a species, they are on the larger side of life quite often. If you are more than a 2XL and you want a hoodie, contact me on the Fishlocker Facebook page after this, and I might be able to put a separate order in for larger hoodies. Jack Street, thanks for always answering my questions and brilliant advice you always give. Love the channel and what you do. It is absolutely my pleasure, Jack. I'm just simply sharing what I love doing. Yes, if you are larger than 2XL and you want a hoodie, send me a message on the Fishlocker Facebook page, a private message, and we'll see if we get, because the company that does these, it's a minimum order and I have to fill it before I can order them. So we'll see what we can do. George, when making lobster pots using a funnel, what size? I don't know off the top of my head, mate. It's all in the video. I did it all in the video, even like sizes across my hand or meshes, or I did it all out on the video. You'll have to watch the video, mate, because I don't know off the top of my head. Next questions. Have you got some written down for me? Just like that. Wow, 624 watching, that's incredible.
What was our record last time?
1017.
Okay, are we going to break that?
I don't know, I guess people are just busy. There's an awful lot going on. I understand how busy our lives are. In fact, if any of you, Seb, that's really generous, thank you very much. If any of you have groups or pages or people that you think might enjoy asking questions, right, Ollie MacDonald, I understand what you're saying now. If anybody wishes to make a donation to the channel, and I mentioned this on the last live, what you might see coming up is those are called like super chats or super stickers. That's a way of people donating so that their comment gets read, or if they just want to donate. YouTube takes 30% of those donations. So what some people have said is that rather than them give me a tenner and me only get £7 of it, what they would like to do is they would just give me a PayPal donation instead, and we have a PayPal account that belongs to the channel, and then whenever we're buying things like a new lamp or a new fishing reel or things like that, we buy it from PayPal. Ollie, if you send me a private message to the Fishlocker Facebook page, I will give you the PayPal. I'm not going to give it out off a ear. What?
It's only the email address.
No.
Okay.
Ryan, are you going to fish in Whitby after the COVID is over? Possibly, very likely. I had hoped that when we got the new boat, we would go and we would do a road trip around the UK, and it would be like the northeast for cod, and it would be Scotland for skate, and it would be Wales for tub and things like that. But it all depends on what happens this year with what Boris allows us to do. After all, I don't want to get halfway up there and him say no, and I've got to come all the way back down again with the boat. You'd be wounded, wouldn't you? Can you catch, this is from Will, can you catch thornback rays from the shore in Cornwall at this time of year? Yes, definitely. There are some fantastic marks down around Cornwall for thornback rays. Most of the estuaries will throw up thornback rays. Devon fishing, yes, there is some placed fishing planned for this year coming up. In fact, a couple of months. They're showing up further down the coast. Next month, maybe, if the weather's all right. William Collick mentioned about the boat earlier on, and yeah, it's a work in progress, unfortunately, mate, just because we haven't been able to get out and find anything. Will you go up north for cod after lockdown? That's the same question.
It was two different people.
Oh.
They were asking about cod. They were just asking about fishing.
Okay.
I mean, we'll come up
Yes.
if it's battered and served with chips.
Adrian, what is your PB fish? Did he not say what type of fish?
No,
Okay.
it literally just said that.
The one that I liked catching them, I love them all. Even the dogfish. It's been many a time
What's
I've
your
had a
PB, like, what's the biggest? I think it means
I don't know.
the skate in weight, isn't it?
No,
Like-
it's a tuna in weight.
Oh yeah.
If you're on about the heaviest fish I've ever caught, probably the two tuna that I accidentally hooked on my boat. 200-pound skates. Yeah, I've been really lucky. As for, I love them all. I mean, even catching things like a little rock cook wrasse or a little goby, or sometimes like fishing a nice place. They're lovely to. Or John Dory's. Yeah, John Dory's were fantastic. What is James's favourite dinosaur? Wow, that is a
I
question
know,
to ask.
that's
Tell you what, we'll answer. James, you want to come here for a second? Rachel, best VHF radio and best fish finder. That is one I can't really comment on right now. James Corbett, thank you very much. What I'm going to be doing is potentially for the new boat, I am going to be looking at upgrading my fish finder and GPS and all the VHF and everything. So I will be doing my research. When I have done some research and I've collated a few ideas, I will do a video on it. Someone has just asked me what your favourite dinosaur is.
My favourite dinosaur is Stegosaurus and Parasaurus.
A Stegosaurus and a Parasaurus.
He says it really well, I can't say
How do you say it?
Parasaurolophus.
Parasaurus.
And that's one of them ones with like a spike on the back of its head, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, a Stegosaurus and a Parasaurolophus. Not a Rhinoceratops.
Yep, also a rhinoceros.
And an Allosaurus.
Yeah.
What about...
Who knew there was so many dinosaurs?
Dr. Wu.
Dr. Wu knows. Dr. Wu can make them, can he?
Yeah.
You're going to go back and finish watching your film? So there you go. What's the strangest thing I've had? I don't know. I've caught a couple of sea cucumbers before. They are pretty freaky. It just comes up looking like some type of...
Careful.
Yeah, think about how to say this. Like a lumpy black cucumber that you...
Like a massive gherkin, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good way of
It's more
saying
like
it.
a gherkin than a cucumber.
I was going to say it looks like something you might find in an underwear drawer. But I was trying to find the right way of saying it without being rude. Depends. Someone's just asked a question there. Who would win in a fight, a bass or a pollock?
Bass, way more spikes.
But I don't know, pollock have got more fight in them. Bass, just get a big bass and it just comes up to the surface and opens its mouth and thrashes around, whereas a pollock will... Yeah.
Would a pollock send you to hospital to have
guess, yeah.
spike removed from your nail?
Someone has just... Alright, this one keeps coming up. Is it legal to keep bluefin personal consumption? No. There have been an awful lot of questions I've seen fly up about bluefin. I assumed that this would probably come up. There's been an awful lot in the media lately. Don't want to upset anyone or kind of spoil your plans, but it is still illegal to fish for bluefin tuna. It is going to be illegal for personal anglers like me and like you to go and fish for bluefin tuna. Anybody who thinks that they're going to allow every Joe on his boat to go out and catch bluefin tuna, you're not thinking. Something like that needs to be regulated. And all that will mean is it will just mean that the regulations mean that someone's got to have a license to do it. And it will probably be catch and release. You just read what that one says and tell me what it means. So yes, we have, as a country, we have acquired some quota in the Brexit deal. At the moment, Bluefin Tuna UK and other bodies are petitioning like ICAT accreditation to DEFRA to be able to get a catch and release fishery, well, realised, created, but it's still in the early stages. Anybody that thinks that it's going to happen anytime soon, you must have never dealt with anything to do with bureaucracy or the government. James Corbett, I'll send you a photo on Facebook, mate. What with my right? Okay, James, that's about the crab pots. No problem, mate. Yeah, just send me a message on the Fishlocker Facebook page.
Oh, it's going too fast now.
The law as far as the tuna are concerned, and this is something where people have been possibly getting a little bit confused. There are some boats that have been given permission to catch them for tagging, and that means that you've got to have special accreditation and you've got to have a tagging team on board. Currently, there is no tagging team set up for this year. So anybody that's doing charters for tuna this year, they're on risky ground there, because if they take all this money for all these tuna charters and they don't open them up, what they're going to do? Give people their money back, or are they going to take them out and fish for them illegally? They're on really dodgy ground. So you just need to be careful about either what you say and what you do. And if you do manage to go out and accidentally hook into one of them, think about what the backlash could be if you get caught with bits of it in your freezer at home. That's kind of the way I'm going to say it. Any fly fishing planned? Yes, I've been gifted a fly rod and I have been practicing it at some point in time. Unfortunately, again with the regulations that we've got, I haven't been able to get to any of the trout waters around for trying the fly rod out. I would like to try it out on the boat. I do hope to be able to catch like pollock and bass and mackerel with it, but again, it's getting the conditions. Is there a preferred time of year for haddock? The winter haddock fishing down here is usually pretty good. One more cast. Do you agree with dumping boulders to help save protected areas? That's another one where it's quite a confusing. In theory, on face value, that type of thing, creating artificial reefs is good. It will help. But any time that man tries to make a change to anything, like building groins on a beach to stop the sand moving, just ends up causing coastal erosion further down the coast because of something called longshore drift. Every single time that you try and change something with nature, you will have a knock-on effect. So by dumping boulders in one area, you might be able to create like an artificial reef, which will help life, but you'll end up causing another knock-on effect down there. So it's not so simple as that. It has to be weighed up. If you want to talk more about that, send me a message, because it's quite a complicated issue. Have you ever been to the US? Yes, we have. Been to, well, I was going to say south of the US. Been to Texas quite a few times. Done a little bit of fishing there. It is fantastic. Jerry, all the very best, mate. Take it easy. Thanks for joining us. Dylan, what is the best gear for a beginner to get into boat fishing? Seb, I love watching you. You are better than any of the celebrities. Oh, I don't know. Jeremy Wade's pretty good.
Hi.
You back again? You're going to sit on Marnie? Right. Are you going to help me read some of these questions?
Yeah.
Beginner boat setup for boat fishing. Dylan, like I explained earlier on, I am going to be getting... I am going to be trying to organise a video and like a setup so that I can market it as being like a beginner's setup. So it will, anybody that wants to get into fishing, they'll be able to pick this up, and through that video, they will be able to go out and fish with it. I'm going to work on one from the pier, one from the shore, and one from the boat. It's just going to take me a little while to do it, obviously, because of everything that's going on. William Collett, thank you very much, mate. Somebody has sent you some money to get some sweets. What type of sweets would you like?
I like Kinder Eggs.
Kinder Egg.
Kinder eggs and mini eggs. Yeah. Do you do scuba diving videos? I don't scuba dive. I just, I call it free diving, snorkeling. He's spit off mum and dad. I tell you what, I'm glad when people say that, because if he looked like the milkman, I would be annoyed.
I would be. We haven't got a milkman.
Do I still hold the bass record? Yes, the shore caught sea bass record. People hate it when I say sea bass. The Shawcourt European bass record is still mine. No other way I've really seen it. My dream catch would be a tarpon. Have you ever caught one? No, I've never been fishing in areas where you catch tarpon, but I would love to give it a go. They do look like amazing fun. Difficult to land though. I mean, I think it's supposed to be something like 1 in 5 hookups ends in landing a fish. You all right? What have you been watching in there? Someone was saying, are you wearing a Black Panther outfit? You are, aren't you?
It says pyjamas.
And also for fighting crime with, don't you? Can I have...
There's not very many.
Get yourself away. You'll be scaring all the girls away. All of our 6 female viewers.
Quite a few people have asked if we've got any plans going from YouTube to TV. Yeah, we'd love to, but it's not that simple.
Yeah, we've been approached a couple of times by different groups. There was a group that contacted us before. James, just 1 second. I can't be doing all with all these judo chops. There was a group that approached us before all this trouble started with restrictions. Alright, you're just up for a judo chop.
Do some drawing.
Unfortunately, when all COVID kicked off, they had to cut it all down. And it was, they were supposed to be taking us across the world to be able to go fishing and foraging.
I think everyone should... We don't use Twitter, but anyone that uses Twitter, start a Twitter hashtag. Like, get Fishlocker on TV and tag the BBC, tag Firecracker, because they make lots of fishing shows, and tag, like, Channel 5 and the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, we'd, at the moment...
Did you see this?
Yeah, I did. Ah, Ian, thank you very much. Ian Chappell. Was it Chapel?
Chapel.
Um,
Else is just
George Ray. Yeah, we have been approached once or twice, but we haven't quite found a fit for anything. One of them, all they wanted to do was they just wanted to kind of take the platform, really. They just wanted to say, all right, well, yeah, you can come with us, but we're going to tell you what to say and what to do and what to make your videos on. I was like, well, that's not quite... That would be... I've kind of been a betrayal of the community that there's built up around the videos. Robert, will you ever target Poggies? Yes, at some point I will. I've been handed off by a couple of Poggies in some of the videos, and I've just never had a chance of going back after them. Like one day I went out and I got bitten off twice and I hooked into it and it did me. And I was like, right, I'm going to come back and get you tomorrow. And anyway, the weather just dropped out and I couldn't do it. What's the hardest fish to catch in your opinion?
the one that's not hungry.
That's a good answer. The one that's not hungry. I don't know, it took me a long time to catch a John Dory, and then I caught 3 in one session.
Remember how long it took you to get a ray as well?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, Poggies, we will target them, but just when the conditions are in my favour.
This is quite good. Someone's asked, if you had all the resources, what would be your dream adventure?
I'm not sure. I guess we'd just travel around. I love learning new things. I love learning like new techniques. So if we were able to travel to say to a different country and fish with like their local methods, or even like if we were going to go to somewhere like for example, I was travelling through with work a couple of years ago. We went to Curacao over in the Caribbean, and it was the guys there were just fishing with hand lines and balloons. So they're using the offshore wind to take the balloon out, and then when the balloon popped, they had a fish and they wound it on a hand line. Just learning different methods and techniques like that all over the world, that would be fantastic. Being able to share a little bit of what that was another one as well actually, is I was sat on a pier waiting for like a crew boat to come and pick me up, and there was an old boy and his son there fixing a fishing net, and they were like, oh yeah, the boat's been delayed by 2 hours. So everyone else was just like, oh no, what we're going to do? So all I did was I sat for the next hour and a half with this old bloke. I didn't even speak the same language as him, fixing his fishing net for him. Just stuff like that. I love that. It's kind of it's a community that doesn't need a common language. John Weaver, thank you very much for the donation. That's very kind. Thank you. Yeah, I've got that one.
Okay. We want to do like a big road trip in the USA as well, don't we?
Yeah. Well, we've got road trips planned all over the place. We just need to be able to get out and be able to travel. We'd like to be able to go and do one around like different areas in the States. I mean, there's fishing all over the States, which is just incredible. But we want to do one around the UK, we could do one around Europe, we could do one around anywhere. I mean, God, we'd love to go to Australia to go fishing. Will you ever upgrade to something, to a commercial boat? I have no designs to get a commercial license. For one, there are commercial fishermen down here that do it for a living. They need to do that to provide for their families. I don't want to be muscling in on anything that they're doing because I don't need to. This is purely for my pleasure and to be able to share it with everybody. So I don't need a commercial
You couldn't really
license.
do both, could you? You couldn't have a commercial boat and do videos on where you're
I
catching stuff.
wouldn't want to.
Hang on a sec, James.
It's not something that I'm interested in. You can give him that pen and I can have this one. So no, although I've got nothing against commercial fishermen, I'm related to quite a few of them. I have no designs to get a commercial boat myself. Have you ever fished North Wales? No, I've fished in South Wales, but never North Wales. Is that Gareth Griffiths by any chance?
I don't know.
Get some cracking fishing over there. I would love to be able to go and try it. Mike Arnap. Cardiff Siffy playing away. Catch the ball again. And no problem, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. And may the best team win. Biggest lobster I've ever foraged was a video with Pinchy Thanos. Biggest one I've ever had in a pot, I don't know. I've never landed a thresher. I've seen quite a few of them when I've been out on the boat before, but I've never really targeted them. You have to fish for them slightly differently than you do from other sharks. I knew this would come up. Have you ever seen a great white in Cornish waters? We don't get great whites in the UK. I don't care what anybody on YouTube says. We don't get great whites in the UK. All of it is either a publicity stunt or it's someone who doesn't know what a great white looks like and thinks they've seen one and it's a basking shark. We don't get great whites in the UK. That's not to say that there weren't at one point in time in history, and that's not to say that if things continue and there are more of them around in the oceans in the future that they won't come back, but we don't get them here in the UK. There are very few of them in the world at the moment, and if we had any of them around the UK, there would be undeniable proof. There's that many people out fishing now, there's that much commercial fishing pressure. Everybody's got a mobile phone that takes a video. Yeah, there aren't any. Have you ever been ice fishing? No, not technically ice fishing as in you sat on the ice fishing through hard water.
When it's ice cold.
Just when it's cold. Will you ever do a video on collecting peelers for smoothies? It would be quite a short video, unfortunately, and yeah, I guess our foraging videos would cover that, just on where to look for. I have done a video on fishing for smoothies with peeler crabs. I might have a speak to someone I know who's a bait dealer, and he does deal in peeler crabs. So what I might do is I might tag along with him for a day, and I might be able to show you, because it would be difficult to be able to do because I don't want to give away where he gets all of his stuff. Any advice on how to stop your baits being stripped by crabs? Salford lad. If you use some pop-up beads, you might be able to float them above, but it depends on the size of the bait that you're using. If you're using like a mackerel fillet or something like that. In fact, actually, Bassman Gordon rigs, he makes some with like floating beads like that for congers to float up at like half a joey. So yeah, you can use big pop-up beads. You just have to find some way of floating them up off the bottom. Now, velvet swimming crabs and harbour crabs can swim up and they will get them. So it's not foolproof, but it will help. Have you done a video on processing octopus? No, I haven't. We have talked about taking some octopus, cuttle or squid to, I'll come back to that one. Sam Hughes, if you've got a TV deal, would you still do YouTube? Definitely. This is our passion, this is what we've built, this is what we enjoy doing, so that's what we'll do. The processing of an octopus. We have talked to Jim about doing cuttlefish, octopus, squid in the Spargo's kitchen. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to mix with them, so we haven't been able to do that. But also there is quite a bit of controversy because of things like my octopus teacher. Now, here in our local area, the octopus the population has exploded and they are everywhere. They're quite a problem. And then all we'll get is a load of people complaining because they've seen it on Netflix and they think they're real cute. So you can't really win. 744 watching. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. I'm sorry if I haven't got to your question. If I have missed it and it hasn't been read out, if you really want answering, you could send me a private message on the Fishlocker Facebook channel, and I'll Fishlocker Facebook page or on the YouTube channel in the comments sections on the videos, and I will try and get back to you. Also, yeah, if you can, and if you haven't already, just click that like button. Congratulations, you have built a wonderful fishing channel. Thanks. It's you guys that have built it up around me. All I've been doing is just making the videos. I don't know how to say that. It's Elise Studios, is it, or Bliss Studios? You've commented on the videos before. I've seen them. So even if you haven't got social media, you can comment on the videos and I'll pick it up. Favourite beach for a family day out? They asked me some videos about the beach that me and James camped on. I remember your comment, I answered it today.
Is that testimony?
One of the reasons why I don't reveal an awful lot of the locations is because I have a duty of care in that some of the places where I go to, they're only safe because I have local knowledge of them. If I gave you the location and someone went down there when the tides weren't right or when there was incoming weather, they could get stuck and it was a danger, and I would be responsible. Right, this one here is, if you can find that.
I've just written it down.
Writing it down for a second. Nelani, I'm getting to it. Thank you very much. In fact, actually, there may be a position for a moderator coming up, and I will speak to the patrons. For anybody interested, we do have is it called a Patreon?
I don't know how you say it.
I get told off because it's I call it Patron. Niall, yeah, the relief shading is fantastic, isn't it?
Sorry, he's drawing on me.
Yeah, we do have a Patreon, and all I do there is I will use it as kind of like a sounding board to bounce ideas off. Patreon, okay, well, Patreon. I use it as a way of bouncing ideas off them so that they can be like my focus group. Also, they will get early access to the videos by like 24, 48 hours because they can help me with the proof watching. So when I'll do my first edit, if I haven't got time to be able to watch a 35-minute video and check for like grammatical errors, or if one of the clips is glitched, they'll proof watch them for me. So that's what I do with that. Favourite beach for the family? Like I say, I can't give too many away, but we just love any of them. Any of them that are clean and don't have loads of dock mug on them. That'll be the best thing. When will smooth hounds be in? Depending on the conditions, I'd say like a month. You might catch one or two of them now. Some of the offshore areas, you catch them through the winter down here. John's brows need a trim. A cheeky monkey.
Can't even see the big one.
I get like one long hair that grows off the top of there. Have you caught a barbel or a chub? Yes, I have. I've caught both of them, but they were still water barbel and still water chub, so I don't feel like it really counts. Actually, the Ironics, that's a pretty good one. That Bliss Studios or Elise Studios, I have a playlist on the channel which is called Coastal Exploring Videos. In all of those are all explained by location, and all of those are safe locations. So if you wanted to watch those and you found any of the areas that you would like to go and see, there will be the locations in the video. When will mackerel be in on the south coast for pier fishing? We're catching mackerel down here right now. I can't say because I don't know what your location is, but generally they are a summer species, so I would say June onwards would be a safe bet. Have you ever fished from a kayak? His wife
wants to buy one.
If you're going for a tandem kayak, then yeah, go for it. I have fished from kayaks before. I don't personally like them because I'm used to a boat. If I'd never had a boat before and I got straight in a kayak, I would probably absolutely love it. They are great. There's an awful lot of guys that I know that fish from them really, really well. There are, it's quite. In fact, actually, there's one of my friends who's got a channel called Slippy Limpets. He's a lad from the northeast. He's just done a video on catching pollock on jigs up on a kayak. So yeah, if you wanna bounce some ideas off him, that would be great. Do you think a TLD20 an ugly stuff? I'm not going to answer that. I've already told you about Tuna. No.
Do you want to go get your paper, darling, so I can use this back?
No problem.
Okay.
Favourite bait? There isn't much that will turn down a peeler crab or JKA is great. There isn't much that'll turn down a peeler crab or a live prawn, but fresh mackerel's great, ragworm's great. There's loads of them that are great. It depends what you're fishing for. A live joey or a live pilchards are great for pollock and bass. A live sand eels are great for bass. Where have you fished in South Wales? Just on the Pembrokeshire coast. There was a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who invited me down there for his birthday, and we had like a camping party on his birthday, and we did a little bit of fishing down there. Are you going to draw us a picture?
I'm going to do something.
You do us a favour and just grab that pad of paper down there, because there's some of James's pictures in that. Would you do a video promoting local tackle shops in Cornwall after lockdown? I don't need to do a video on that because there is already a video done by a couple of friends of mine where they have done like a support your tackle shop, and they've covered the whole of the coast. They've got every single one in it. If you, whoever commented that, I don't know because the name's not written down. If you want to contact me, I will share for you the videos. James currently is drawing up a storm. You can't really see him, he's just in the corner of it. But we have a couple of his drawings. What's that one?
A Brontoceratops.
A Brontoceratops. And that one is an Allosaurus, isn't it?
Yes, that's this was the one.
What's this one here then?
A Benialis with a tortoise head like that. It's a limestone.
And this is a Godzilla.
Two of the monsters.
So it's just fantastic. He's just an artist. Are you doing all right now? Yeah? You're in on the action. We do, would you see orcas?
That's all it said.
There are areas of the coast where you can see them. Areas of like the Welsh coast, the Irish coast, and you do see them up off the Scottish coast. I have never personally seen them. I've seen an awful lot of different things, different types of whales, orcas, different types of fish, but I've never been lucky enough to see orcas in the wild. Hopefully that would be one of the things that we would get a chance to see in the future. Do you go fossil hunting? Yeah, I love a little bit of fossil hunting, especially from areas of the coast where I grew up, which is the northeast. In one of our videos, one of our coastal exploring videos up in the northeast, I do a little bit of fossil hunting. We do hope to be able to... Right, Colin. I was wondering if you're going to come to Whitby and fish it. I've already answered that question right at the start, mate. Thank you for asking it, though. Sam, I wasn't saying that my good lady was a horse.
No, in fact, you said I wasn't.
I think you weren't reading it properly. Peeler crabs are better than any other types of crabs because they have more scent in them. Hard-shell crabs are also harder to get on a hook because they've got a hard shell. Whereas
Show this one.
that one there, can anybody guess who this is? If anybody can guess it right, the first person to guess it right, actually, speak to me because I will sort out a little prize for you. Just one more time. That is who it is. No, it's not Santa. Ah, someone got it straight away. The mighty orange turtle got it straight away.
Yeah?
Send me a private message.
Alright, last one.
Right, last one. That's the juggernaut.
Yeah.
You'll never guess what he's been watching today.
Funny, it just lets his arm appearing.
Right, have we got any more? That's enough now, James. Everybody's seen them.
darling.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we've just got...
Gaza, Patreon, thank you very much. Yes, it's Marcumbrian accents, apparently. Do you ever fish up in the northeast? I have got 1 or 2 fishing videos from up there. I haven't said they're from up there. I've just said they're from the northeast. So they are on the channel. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get chance to go travelling much because of everything that's been going on. And we will do more in the future. Daniel Nash, amazing mate. Thank you very much. You were very generous with the last live. Pollock are fantastic eating fish. We have a freezer full of ling and pollock at the moment. We are going to do more catch and cooks. I'm saving some so that Jim can do some in the Spargo's kitchen as soon as we're allowed to mix again. I have done a filleting video as well that will go with that. It is absolutely my pleasure, and thank you very much, Daniel. Can I tell you a little bit about my career before YouTube? Running through it really quickly, I was commercial fishing, then a fisheries officer, then in the Navy as an aeronautical engineer. Then I've worked for agencies, engineering, and now I just fish. Mainly through necessity because the work has dried up a bit because of COVID. So we do this. No, I don't hold the pollock record. I don't know who holds the pollock record. I wouldn't know about how far the scent of peeler crab travels. That would depend purely on the amount of tide. Also, if it's got a big run of tide, it'll wash the bait out quicker. So I wouldn't know how they would work that one out. Ever targeted garfish? Garfish, yeah. Usually though they're a bycatch. If I'm ever fishing from the shore with a float, they're usually a bycatch. I do fish for them occasionally when I'm shark fishing because you do get some like real monsters, like some 2-pound beasts. They are great fun on a little spinning rod. No, Ross, sadly, that was before we started making videos. Martin, yes I do. Right. When you say you fish, do you sell fish commercially or are you self-sufficient? I can't sell anything commercially because I'm not licensed. I covered that a little bit earlier on.
No, he means when you said you just fish now, it means do you make your money commercial fishing or just through YouTube and other bits?
We also work, but yes, a little bit of YouTube, it doesn't hurt. At the moment, the YouTube pays for the fishing. It doesn't pay for much else. It means that our hobby and what we love doing doesn't cost us a lot. No, I do like hunting, but we don't get to do an awful lot of it. I mean, most of the areas down here is private land, and I just haven't had the opportunity. Yes, actually, when I was a kid, I would have broken the short spine sea scorpion record. I would have absolutely obliterated it. But a photo of it was like that big. I didn't know back then though. That was when I was about 8. Have you ever been stung by a jelly? Many, many times. There is one of our underwater snorkeling videos when we all went as a family down on the beach, and I got a jellyfish right across my top lip. My top lip just ended up like that, like a proper Botoxing lip filler. Favourite fishing, pier, beach or boat? It has to be the boat. I absolutely love being on the boat. Are you on any social medias? Yes, we are on Facebook and on Instagram. Jamie, is it Jamie Jeffries? Nice to meet you. Right. Someone's just asked about substitutes for lead weights, cheaper ones. You can drill holes in stones, but they are never going to be as effective because they are larger for the weight. You know, you might get a 6-ounce lead that would be that big, but a 6-ounce rock would be that big. There are other things you could use. I mean, if you're ever going for like really, really big fish, like if you're fishing for skates and things, and you're going to need like a 3-pound lead, some people that I know have welded pieces of rebar together as a cheaper. Have you done any halibut fishing? I haven't had a chance to do any halibut fishing because the fishing trips that we had planned to Scotland, to Norway, unfortunately were cancelled. Although I do have one coming up, fingers crossed, that will be going ahead. There we are, right. Picture fish. This is the one that we were talking about earlier on. The young girl's called Matilda. She does some fantastic like transitions in reels and things like that. I'm quite jealous. I might steal a couple of that. She does some great moody photography of fish. Most fish photos are just kind of like with a fish or like holding one up. She does some really good photos. I might have to commission you for a day to come out with us and get some good photos. Have you ever eaten conger? Yes, I have. I've eaten conger eel. I've eaten conger eel 4 or 5 times. Sorry, I'm just doing one here. Sam, if you're asking a question that we've already answered and you're asking it again and again and again and again, we're going to move you to a side because we've either got it written down or I've already answered it. And all you're doing is you're just pushing other people's comments up out of the way. Now, so far, we haven't needed a moderator on here. Now, if people are going to start being unnecessary, then we probably are going to have to get a moderator. So far, I don't think we really need one. If people don't, if people aren't conscientious and give other people the opportunity of asking questions, then we're going to have to get one. Eating conger eel, yeah, I've eaten conger eel 4 or 5 times. Every single time was a different way by 3 different cooks. So I've had it 5 different ways by 3 different cooks, and every single time it was horrible. Anybody that tells you that it's nice, they're not. they're not being fully honest, or they've not had nice fish. If you're in a situation where you were starving, like if it was all that you could catch, like if we were back in like times of war and rationing, conger eel would be edible, along with wrasse and everything else like that, and dogfish and all the ones that people don't eat now for fun. It's edible, but I wouldn't. There, Lee Atkins, there's another one. Yes, Michael, I have tried sea urchin. Again, I think that must be an acquired taste. Do we have any pets? We do. We have a guard rabbit that rules our garden with absolute ferocity. And our drone is a Mavic. What bait do you use to catch your bass? The bass, the big bass, I'm not sure what you mean, was on a frozen ammo sand eel. It was on a little medium sand eel that was about that big. Thank you, John. If I can, Keith, I will be videoing the trip to Norway. It's going to be a halibut competition. Ours is a grey and white flop-eared. Best rig for piers, I would say, probably, depending on what you're fishing for, running ledger rig. Everything all right?
The shopping was early, sorry.
Derek, any advice on how to stop my snood wrapping around my body when fishing a pennel? Depending on what rig you're using, this could be an issue either in your cast. If you're clipping it down and it's becoming unclipped during casting, it might wrap up. If not, it's because when you've cast out, you've tightened up too soon and the tide is wrapping it up, or it's popped the lead out and it's rolled. It could also be because you've got 2 dissimilar weights of mono. What's this? See if you can look back and find out what he's going on about there.
Okay.
If you've got 2 dissimilar weights of mono, then they might tangle up around each other. Whereas if you're using the same weights, obviously it's the same rigidity, it's the same suppleness. There could be a couple of different reasons. All I would do is I would try changing one different one until you find the problem, just out of a process of elimination. Lee, the reason why I don't do very many minimum landing sizes in the videos is because not only did they change in that they are open to being amended by fisheries committees, but also they aren't relevant to everyone because there are different minimum landing sizes to different areas. Like say for instance, the minimum landing size for a lobster is 90mm in my area, where it's 87 in other areas. And crabs are 130 in some areas, and here it's 150 and 160. So I don't put an awful lot of specific information in like that because someone watching my videos here, from here, the rules might be different to where they're fishing. All I'll do in that instance is I'll just say you need to speak to your local IFCA to be able to get your local relevant bylaws and minimum landing sizes. David, thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Matt Thompson, would you ever fish with fans on local charter boats? Matt Thompson, we already do Fishlocker days. We have done half a dozen of them already, whereas we'll get our group of 5 or 6 anglers together from like followers of the channel, or I always advertise it on the Facebook page, so they're always watchers of the channel, and we'll fish on a local charter boat. And also, like I said, I'm doing a charity one with 4 more anglers, so we do it. If you want to book like we'll call it a Fishlocker day, then it's best to just contact me on the Fishlocker Facebook page, and I will pass you on to the skipper, and he'll be able to tell you his availability, because we've done quite a good job of booking up his entire calendar. He's a very good skipper, and he's now very busy.
He likes to be busy.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you ever find a good tradie, you know they're generally good because they're absolutely rammed all the time. What type of sharks do we have? here in the UK, you get blue sharks, paw beagle sharks, thresher sharks, the occasional mako, and like dogfish, bullhuss, spur dogs, cat sharks, that type of thing. Lee, yeah, he's as long as you can put up with his occasional grumpiness and his robust way of encouraging you to do the right thing.
It's just like you in about 4
Yeah,
years.
it's like me if I was 105 and had a bald head. I've one of my funniest memories. I was flicking through my phone the other day. My phone, if I showed you the pictures, it would just be like fish, 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 crab, fish, shell, all the way through. And I was flicking through it the other day trying to find a picture that I wanted to send to somebody about like, oh, this is the type of fish that you want to fish for. And I just had a photo of like a withered old ear with a hook sticking out of it. And it was one time that me and him had gone out to go and recce out a new wreck. We were taking some charters out, and we're like, oh, we'll check this wreck on the way home so that we can, next time we go out, we'll take one. And we're fishing with, I caught a ling, and he bent down to go and like untangle a trace, and the ling flapped off and knocked like a mackerel feathering rod down, and it fell down, and one of the hooks hooked straight into the back of his ear and like went through his ear up on the top. And while there was loads of like a ling thrashing about and we were trying to take a photo, all I ended up doing was I just clipped the line and left the hook in his ear for about 10 minutes until I could get it out with a pair of pliers. But I was in creases. At the time, I was laughing my head off. And then 3 or 4 times, I've kept the photo now because I laughed that much about it. I might post it up on the Facebook page. Why is my pulley panel wrapping up around my weight snood when I clip it up? I've just answered that. I've answered it like 5 minutes ago. Lambert, you might have missed that. I did answer the question. If it's spinning in the cast as well, it could be because your bait isn't streamlined. I do have a video on how I make my pulley rig that shows like an imp. There are other ways of clipping them down. If you're having trouble with one, try a different way. We don't actually get abalones here in the mainland UK. I have had a couple of people send me pictures of how they prepare their abalone, and they do look well, quite interesting, I would say. I wouldn't mind trying them all at one time. Right, I've got through all of those. What time are we at? Right, we are going to wrap it up. I'll give it 5 more minutes, and then we're going to have to wrap it up.
I'll just give you these. I won't write any more down. This will take you 20.
Please, at the moment we have 712 people on. If you haven't already, and you could please, can you just click that like button for me? If we can take this up to 800 likes, that would be amazing. Right, Eddie Edwards, my pleasure. I hope you're enjoying the fishing boat. We absolutely love it. It's something which you have to weigh up in your mind whether or not it's going to be justifiable for the expense and the time and everything like that. But if you find that it is, we've taken so much joy out of it. Whether it's the crab pots, whether it's fishing, whether it's taking James out on the boat, we love it. Any plans to fish the Great Lakes and the Rocky Mountains? If we ever do get a chance to go over to the US, we would love to fish in those places. We've tried ever so many times to plan out routes, and we're like, oh yeah, we'll spend a day there and a day there, and then we've realised that we've actually been over there for 8 months because we want to spend a day everywhere.
We've got like a mini one, hopefully, in the works, haven't we? So any American people will be reaching out to you. Ryan,
have you been catching more cod this year? There has been more caught than normal in the Humber. No, not necessarily. We get some good years and get some bad years. I haven't known that there's been a disproportionate number of cod caught this year. I've caught a couple. I caught a couple last year. I don't usually fish for an awful lot down here just because I used to catch an awful lot of them up in the northeast. There's a lot more species to target down here. And also, because there aren't an awful lot of them, I feel like I don't really want to take from what's there, if that makes sense. They are a fantastic eating fish. Does that say Liam? Have you ever caught and eaten triggerfish? I have caught some triggerfish before. I've never eaten a triggerfish, mainly because I've always fished catch and release with them. I am told that they taste like chicken, but I don't know yet. No.
I think people say that about everything.
If it doesn't taste of anything, it tastes of chicken apparently. George Ray, thank you. Yes, I agree. Thank you very much, everyone. That was very well. very good, thank you. Any viable areas on the Yorkshire coast viable for foraging? Matt, there are quite a few areas on the coast. What you need to do though is you need to speak to either DEFRA or the local IFCA, which is the North Eastern Sea Fisheries Committee, on where is safe, because there are places that you should avoid, like areas where outfalls from the back of factories or sewage pipes or anywhere with an estuary after heavy rain, because there is a process called leaching, which is like when farmers spread manure or pesticides on their land and then the rain comes, it washes it down off them into the rivers and then into the estuaries, and it ends up being filter fed into things like mussels and cockles. So there's a few things you need to know. Speak to the local authorities and they'll be able to tell you where is safe. Best rig for beach fishing to avoid bringing in seagrass. There isn't one. If there's seagrass there, unless you're fishing, I'll word this a different way. Seagrass is on the bottom. If you are fishing on the bottom and there is seagrass there, you're going to get caught up in it. Whether it's on your leg, whether it's on your lead, whether it's on your rig, whether it's on your line. The only way to avoid getting caught up in the seagrass is either not to fish in it or to fish above it. As in, like, if you've got a load of pop-up beads, you might get your hook length out of the seagrass, but your lead and your rig will still be in it. And the same way that if you want to fish with a float over the top of it all, you'll stay out of it. Otherwise, if it's there and you're fishing on the bottom, you're going to be in it. I will take one more. What are we looking for? Right, Scott Willow, DJI Osmo Action. That is one that I'm going to look at because I would like to move away from GoPros. I have lost so much good footage lately because the GoPros are terrible. 2 videos, in fact, that I would have already had uploaded. Completely useless audio just because the GoPros are terrible at audio. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined us.
To say hi to my mum as well.
Hi, Mum.
Lynn, if you are still watching, I'm glad you could join us. And also Hannah's mother, a couple of people that she works with, I'm told that you are fans of the channel. I'm very glad. I'm very glad you're enjoying it. All the very best. And take care of Lynn for us. I know she can be hard work, but she is my wife's mother. Thank you very much for joining us. If there are any questions that I haven't got to, I'm sorry, but there was just been that many. If you really need it answering, then send me a message. Anybody that's unsure about videos like for rigs, for tackle, that type of thing, we do have a Fishlocker workshop channel, which has got a lot of that stuff on. You might be better off if you want to know whether or not I've got a video, like say on a pulley rig or on bass fishing or on how to cook pollock or anything like that. One of the first things that I will say to do is go on YouTube and just search for Fishlocker and then that word. So Fishlocker pollock fishing, Fishlocker pulley rig, Fishlocker lobsters. You can search for that, and if I've got a video for it, that'll bring it up. That would be the first thing that I would say to do. If I haven't got a video for it, then ask the question, because then it frees my time up to be able to answer other questions for other people. It is my pleasure. I'm sorry if I couldn't get you all. James's dinosaur drawings are absolutely amazing. Do you want to come here and do you want to say goodbye to everyone? He's busy drawing some more there. Hello from Alaska.
That's somewhere else we want to go,
That is
isn't
somewhere
it?
else we want to go.
You want to go to Alaska, don't
James,
you?
I'm sorry, yeah, we are just signing off. We've been on for 73 minutes now. I will be uploading this video to YouTube, so if you have missed it all, you can catch up with it afterwards. James, you want to come here real quick and we're going to say goodbye? You can finish your drawing in a second.
What do we say?
You're going to say thank you very
Water.
I'm going to say thank you very much for the money for your sweets. We'll get you some Kinder eggs and some mini eggs. And what do we say?
Back on the fish water.
All the very best. Take it easy, and we will see. What are you doing?
I'm going to find it now.
All the very best, and we will see you later.